Xeleyah! Who's ready for more Orville? Let me hear you scream! Now they're just the Xeleyahs. Egotastic FunTime. Hey gang, I'm JP and welcome back to the Talking the Orville live pre-show explosion right here on Egotastic FunTime. Tonight, we're gonna have a great time talking about the soon to premiere all new season 2 episode of the Orville, Home. This is it. This is the episode that lets us all know whether or not me, JP, has been baiting your clicks for the last year. This is the episode that I predicted 1 year ago this month that Alara, Halston Sage, was being written off the show. In fact, it's the exact topic that brought so many people into my little stupid show so long ago. I reported that rumor, but as time went by, more and more evidence kept popping up to prove my theory. And tonight, it all comes to a head. And besides previewing tonight's episode with some official pics and awesome knowledge that's in my brain, we're also going to watch the first 5 minutes of tonight's episode right here during the pre-show before the episode airs. I got the footage, but before we get to that, let's say hello. Xeleyah! How's everybody doing tonight? I have to say hello to you guys. We got to see who is here, and hopefully, unlike last week and possibly the week before that, YouTube wasn't being nice with telling me who was here, so I had to go through the quickly scrolling chat. Thank you very much, Clinton Harden. I appreciate that. Let me get some music going, huh? There we go. Our favorite song. Hey, Andrew, Hallen, Blade, Crystal Stover, Dr. Scott Giles, Eccleston's Angel, HM, JLP, John Leal, Johnny Jones, Joseph Bailey, Michael Burns, as long as it's not Michael Burnham, Michael Canol. Anyway, it's an awesome name. I just don't know how to pronounce it. Michael Clucko, Mirror Universe Zot, what's going on? Wiggity wiggity whack. Paige Arnold, Patrick MCP, Richie Poole, Rod Pruitt, Reilly, Arlie. I remember you, Arlie. Cheyenne Waringa. How's it going, Cheyenne? And Slime E101. And I don't know if that's all of you because YouTube's been weird with the participants. So, you know, if I see some new names, which I'm sure there's going to be a ton of people here tonight. David Slock, Paz McGraws, JP Hilb, Core Cross, Ian Singh, Eric Dean Campbell, Marshall Arnold, the Great 2G, and all you other wonderful people like Zippy and Rockin' Express TV. How is it going, Tina Baby Bird, Opre 5, Juan Stevan, Ordonez Velota? How's everybody doing tonight? This is the night. So, I'm not going to waste too much time before we get to our first clip. I mean, the new episode of the Orville in some parts of the country airs in 1 hour, so I want you guys to be able to see what's going on way before that happens. And I'll let you know before we watch the first clip, which is a juicy clip, and it pretty much, it's the first 5 minutes of the episode. So right off the bat in that first clip, it lets you know whether or not if me, JP, has been right this whole time. And the second one confirms a bunch of other stuff, maybe or maybe not, that I've been saying. So, how are you guys feeling? Are you ready for home? Do you think Alara is going to be leaving us tonight forever? Or is, is it just, she leaves, she goes to Xeleyah and they fix her or fix the situation and they come back. She comes back and takes over her job again. I don't know what Tala's going to be doing on the show if Alara's working there. But, hey, you can have two chiefs of securities, working different shifts, I guess. And let's see what you guys are saying. Let me rearrange some stuff on my screen so that I can see your comments even more betterer. Okay, here we go. Lloyd Buster says, yo, 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 first time commenter. I wish I could give you all my money. You don't have to give me, none of you have to give me all of your money. You give me some of your money. I don't mind that. And also, just so you know, Super Chatters, YouTube does take a little bit of that money that you guys give me. So if you really want all the money to go to me, you can there's a link down there from my tip jar. That way the YouTubers don't take that money. They probably give some of it to CBS. But are you guys excited for tonight's episode? So, a couple things with tonight's episode. Before we get to the clips, let me get to the pictures. There's official pictures from tonight's episode that we'll talk about. And I don't want to waste a lot of time because I want to get this information out there to you guys. So, we usually look at pictures of tonight's episode. Blade, 99 cents, what's up? New Zealand, boy, that's far away time right there. That's probably like $5 here in America. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Blade. So tonight we're going to be visiting Xeleyah, which I'm sure all of you already know about. Ed, Gordon, and Alara will be visiting Xeleyah. Here is a picture from tonight's episode. Alara, Kelly, and Ed having a visit with Dr. Finn. Alara's looks a little worried. She's got a little bit of a nervous tick going on with her hand, which is what actors do when they're portraying nervousness. Well, what would she be nervous about, you guys? Maybe we'll find out here in a little bit. Samir Amran, thank you so much. You are a Xeleyah god, JP. Love you. Bye-bye. Don't leave, Samir. We also have Ed in his gravity suit. So we see Robert Picardo, the Doctor from Voyager, reprising his role as Ildis Catan. Of course, we're on Xeleyah, so Ed has to wear a gravity suit to avoid being crushed to death. Well, I don't know if it's to death, but you will be crushed. And Gordon does not have to wear a gravity suit. Is Gordon part Xeleyan? No, Gordon is actually behind a barrier, a force field, gravity force field that is along the shuttle pod here. So it kind of makes sense. So Gordon has to stay there. He can't move beyond the barrier. So if Ed gets in trouble for some reason, which he might, I don't know, I really don't, Gordon's not going to be able to help him. This, of course, is Patrick Warburton, who has been working with Seth MacFarlane playing Joe on Family Guy for 38 years at this point. You can see he has his trunk. It goes right into his belly. He is, I'm predicting, and it's not even really a prediction, I'm sure I'm right. Alara has to go home, okay? They need someone to fill in, so they're looking for new recruits. Patrick Warburton's character, whose name is Tharl, like Carl, but with a TH, Tharl. You know, times are bitchin'. I think he's trying to overcompensate this character, which I can't wait. I cannot wait to meet this character. Thank you so much, Dan Crane. Thank you. I appreciate you guys are gonna help me so that I can start putting out 5 episodes a week, which is my plan. I don't know how the quality of all the episodes will be, but my goal is to get this show going so I can do this full time and just put out just mad. PewDiePie, you better watch your ass is all I'm saying. So this is Tharl. We're gonna meet him tonight. He's pretty impressed with the ship. It's a kick-ass ship. This scene here, this is just a typical bridge scene. There's not much to talk about. It does look to me, I don't know what part of the episode this is going to take place in, the beginning or the end, but Kelly looks kind of PO'd, right? Like either something tense is going on, or she's not having it, or she just had a emotional goodbye to her only real friend on the ship. Now, I will tell you that in Season 2, Kelly and Claire are going to be becoming friends this season, so that's really interesting. And, of course, tonight we're going to be talking about all of our thoughts about Season 2, and I have some juicy tidbits, some spoilers, not big spoilers, but juicy, spicy spoilers about Gordon later on in the season. I got information on 2 different episodes coming up later in the season. Thank you so much, Johnny Jones. So there's Kelly. I'm just going to stick it here for 3 more seconds because, you know, I like Kelly. She's my favorite. Next up, we have Claire and John reporting something. I'm guessing it's Claire. I don't know, but I'm going to guess. And you guys grade me here, okay? When we watch the episode tonight, grade me to see if I'm right. I'm guessing that Claire is going, what? You're going to let that girl go back home to Xeleyah all broken and not go and give her a proper goodbye and let her know everything's going to be okay? You better get down on that planet, Captain Mercer. Alright, so that's my prediction. You guys let me know, or we'll find out together in tonight's episode. Of course, the pre-show will be done before we find that out. Well, maybe not. We're going to probably go until you know, a full hour and a half in this live show. The Orville will still be playing and be about halfway over. And look in the background there. You can see Patrick Warburton's character, Tharl, getting acquainted with his station, which used to be Alara's station. Now, I don't think Patrick Warburton will be in next week's episode. He might be. It would be great. But at least for tonight, he'll be filling in for Alara. Next up, I don't know exactly the relation to Alara here. I don't know if this is one of Alara's sisters or a cousin or a friend, but this is actor Candace King, who plays a Xeleyan named Solana. You will be meeting her in tonight's episode. Don't know her relation to Alara as of yet. I'm starting to think that Alara has a bigger family than we thought, but I really don't know. And do you guys think Alara is going to stay or leave? And this is kind of a stupid question at this point. I'm just going to call it. She's leaving. Hey, thanks again, Blade. Oh, well, the footage there, I just got my ear to the ground. The pictures I was able to pick up from various places today. I actually did it while I was at work. Shh, don't tell anybody. And sent it to myself via Messenger. Different places are posting pics. I guess they were allowed to start posting pics today of certain things. These are not updated. These are the pics that would have been on IMDb, but IMDb is not updated yet. It's still messed up as far as Orville information goes. Not that it was ever very much, you know, not very accurate. IMDb is not usually very accurate with stuff until after an episode airs, and even with that right now, it's not. There's a lot of messed up stuff. And then we've seen these pictures. Okay. And now back to moi. Now, okay, you guys. I'm calling it. Alara's gone. I called it a long time ago, but still I was like, kind of, I'm not going to say I was on the fence, but I was kind of like, ooh, what if there's a chance? a small chance that they decide to keep her, but I'm like, that would be weird. Now I'm positive. And I'm going to show you guys the first couple minutes of the episode right now. So if you don't want to see it, tune out right now for the next couple minutes, because we're going to watch what happens to Alara. Now, this is the very beginning of the episode, so it's not really a spoiler. I mean, it is a spoiler, but it's not really a spoiler because it's going to be the first thing you see as soon as the episode starts. So let's go ahead and get it started right now. And thank you very much, Renault Gaming. Can't wait to watch. Unfortunately, working during the airtime. So am I. I can't watch it until tomorrow because I'm doing the pre-show, and I don't want to start the episode halfway in. I like to relax. Gets me a drink, make a burrito because I'm really good at burritos, and you know, have the Orville whisk me away to the 25th century. So right now, you guys, let's watch the first clip. I'm just gonna do it small screen because I don't want to get flagged, though I don't think I will because this is for people to watch. But here we go. The Orville home.
There he is. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's do this.
Oh, come on, you guys. I'm eating here.
Laura, this is now an official Friday night tradition. You cannot deprive us.
Isaac, get your shiny butt over here. It's go time.
I still fail to comprehend the purpose of this ritual.
We're circus animals, Isaac. I hate to break it to you.
All right, come on, everybody. Place your bets. Use comp scanner code 7499.
Jason Alexander.
Alpha.
There's Yellow.
Hey, what's the score?
Alara's won 16, Isaac's at 14.
All right, let's just get this over with.
I have wagered on you, Lieutenant. Do not fail me.
And go.
Come on.
Boom, and it's Isaac for the win.
Isaac for the win, but it's 14 to 16. So
Laura, are you okay?
sometimes.
Call Dr. Finn. I think my arm is broken.
What?
How's that?
It's much better. Thanks.
Well, it was a clean break, so it should be fine in a half hour or so. Just don't put too much stress on it before then.
How did that happen?
Claire, how did this happen? I mean, I know Isaac and I are evenly matched, but to break my arm in Earth gravity?
Alara, how have you been feeling otherwise? Any unusual soreness or inflammation?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little, but I've also been working out more lately.
Take two of these.
Why?
Well, your muscle mass is down 20%.
No.
Your bone density is down 5%. Alara, your strength is deteriorating.
What? I never would have guessed. How is this possible, you guys? The Orville. It's the Orville. Okay, and then I faded it out because I'm not messing around with theme songs during a stream. Don't mess with music, you guys. I'll tell you that right now. YouTube don't like it, so I'm not doing it. Unless it's, you know, free music. So what did you guys think? As we knew, Isaac and Alara were going to be arm wrestling. Apparently they do this every Friday night. It was 14 to 16. One of them won 14 times. The other one won 16 times. So they're pretty evenly matched. So it's not crazy that she lost, but it's crazy that her arm broke. And everybody's shocked. I'm not shocked. You're probably not shocked because I've guided you through this process for the whole year. But JP for the win. Now let's see what you guys are saying. We'll chat a little bit. And then we're going to go into clip number 2 that I have. We're going to learn a lot more about what just happened. Also, the very beginning of the episode, we're not getting in deep. We're not going to Xeleyah yet. That's all going to be for you guys to see when the episode airs and when you're able to finally watch it. Tina Baby says, hi, you pegged it. Third door from the left says, wow, you called it ages ago. Great work, JP. Ian Singh, thanks for the preview. Yeah, that was a pretty great preview. They don't usually give access to scenes that juicy. I mean, usually last year, nothing this season. This is the first time they had any clips at all. Last season, they were putting out clips, usually 2 clips before each episode, a couple days before each episode, and it usually has no context whatsoever, so you have no idea what's going on, but this has tons of context. JLP, thank you so much. JP, you promised the name to this background song 2 episodes ago. Oh, I'm so sorry. What gives, Broham? I think it's Frontier. I think it's called Frontier. I'm sorry. I should just put that. I'm going to double promise. Okay? We'll get the name of the song. I think it's called Frontier. Rob Snyder says, well, it makes sense that she would get weaker being under less gravity. Oh my God. Some semi-real science. Take that, Discovery. It's the power of math, people. We don't want math. We want science. Edgy Pumpkin says, so Superman is a lie? No, Superman's real. Just not the Man of Steel that you're currently being force-fed. Of course, that's leaving now soon anyway. Marshall Arnold says she's been skipping her milk. And Andrew Halen says, and this is something we've talked about before, can't they change the gravity in her room so she's not in Earth gravity all day? That's a good point. I don't know. I don't know if that affects anything. Maybe they could, but they're like, okay, well, it's too late for that. We wanted to get rid of her, and we can't explain that away now. But anyway, oh no, I can't say right now because that's going to be in the next scene. There's stuff I could say talking about that, but that's in the next scene that we're going to watch. Eccleston's Angel says, boy, did you call that one, JP. I called a lot of stuff, but that was the big one. That's the one that people have been on my butt about for an entire year, saying, you're crazy. That is actually, people not believing my theory on that one is actually what prompted me to create this little fella right here. Are you talking about me, JP? Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy. Wow, I like being talked about because my ideas are so worthy of people's time. I know it is. You're a really interesting person, Angry Nerd Troll. Thanks. You're welcome. Anyway, that's what inspired me to create Angry Nerd Troll. And even today, just today, you guys, I had at least 3 people say, oh, Alara is going to be in all episodes of Season 2. It says right there on IMDb. After I specifically told people not to quote IMDb to me. Anyway, IMDb also says that Tala is in every single episode this season. Have you met her yet? No, you have not. IMDb is a scam. Anyway, what are you guys saying? Rockin' Express TV says she's running off with JP. Well, nobody runs on the Orville more than Alara. Alara's always running up and down the stairs, running up the corridor. You hardly see anyone else running. That's why in this season we're going to see John and Gordon run through the corridors at some point. Cheyenne Waringa says, JP, can I ask you something? Of course you can, Cheyenne. Go for it. Benjamin Jones, last week, deleted scene, Dan got her preggers. That was a theory some people had, and I only entertained that idea for maybe 30 seconds. I was like, okay, I know they're going to go out on a date, because I heard the rumor of that one maybe a month ago. And then they did it, and I was like, there's no way Dan's going to get Alara pregnant. Though, hey, that'd be a pretty ballsy move. And then Cheyenne, if for some reason I miss your question, just keep asking it until I see it. John Leal says, I'm hoping Seth MacFarlane doesn't date anyone else. I don't want to see anyone else go. You got that one right. Actually, before I even ever heard a small little snippet that maybe Halston Sage was being written off the show, a few weeks before that, I heard that they were dating. And I put out an episode. It was probably my first big episode that went crazy. Even though I stopped doing episodes like this because I don't want to be all gossipy. The very first episode I did was, oh, Halston and Seth are dating. And then I did this whole thing of like, stop it. You guys have to stop dating. Something's going to go wrong. The age difference is, no matter how well you get along, the age difference is too much. and something's going to happen. It's not going to work out, and she's going to have to leave the show because Seth's the boss. He isn't going to leave. So I said, stop it, but it happened anyway. But I don't know what the specifics are. Quite frankly, I stopped talking about it because it's none of our business. What happens, according to, whatever happens on the show, what affects the show is our business, but if they're personal stuff, that's not our business. So I'm not going to be all TMZ time here on Egotastic FunTime. Egotastic FunTime, not Egotastic TMZ time. Inkwell says, don't date coworkers or bosses. That's a good rule to go by. Slab Rip Rock. Sorry. Why don't you DVD it and watch it tonight, JP? Well, I have a friend that's sending me a DVR, an antenna DVR, because I cut the cord in 2008. Even though I watch way too much TV, it's been Hulu and Netflix and Amazon Prime for many a year now. So I have a buddy sending me a DVR, but it hasn't arrived yet. So what I'm going to do is I'll just get up really early, or I'll stay up really late tonight, and I'll watch it. And that way, when I'm at work tomorrow, I can run out the door, say, oh, I'm going to take a break. I'll go to my car. I'll film my work break first impression of the episode, so you guys will hear from me tomorrow. And then over the weekend, I'm going to really be working on getting one of my big to-do reviews, recap and reviews of the episode done. Hopefully I'll have that up by Sunday night or Monday. Now I used to rush, try to get these things out by Saturday night or Sunday night, but now I'm like, no, take your time, get it written done, get it written what, the way that you want it. Don't rush, get it done, and have it on Monday. Why not have it on Monday? There's so many delayed views in this day and age. Why not just get it done right so people are entertained? Hopefully you lovely people are nice enough to pretend to be entertained by my shenanigans. Slime E101 says, hey JP, you know how Disney is buying Fox? That means they will own Star Wars and Star Trek. The Orville, how do you feel about that? I'm fine with that. Disney, I think they're pretty hands-off with stuff. I don't think they're going to mess with anything as long as it's making money, getting views. So they might be messing with Star Trek because that's not making money and getting views. But I don't think they're going to mess with Star Wars. Even though they probably should. They're not going to mess with the Orville because the Orville's doing well, even though the ratings were a little bit lower these first 2 episodes. And we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Once we get, talking about Home a little bit more, watch that other clip. The ratings are a little bit lower, but I think it's okay. But I do have ideas of why that's the case. And we'll talk about Xeleyah. We'll talk about Primal Urges, because I have thoughts on Primal Urges as well, besides what I spoke about in the review. Which, by the way, did you guys like that Primal Urges review? I sat down and just really thought of every crazy euphemism I can possibly think of. That was actually pretty damn fun. Took longer than I thought. Michael is it Canole? Michael Canole and Void, thank you so much. I appreciate it. What? $1.99 says $10. What? $10? Any cent is appreciated. Dr. Scott Giles says, JP, your show is the greatness. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I prefer to call it the sweetness. But Dan is the real sweetness. And I'm sorry if I'm missing your question, Cheyenne. I don't see it. I'm sure. Just keep writing it. Copy and paste. Jim Cole says, where can I buy that hat? You cannot buy this hat. This is an official Orville behind the scenes production hat. Only available to people that the Orville sends it to. They were kind enough to say, hey, thanks for your coverage. Thanks for being a friend of the show. Here is a hat. And I love this hat. I wear it every day. Well, most days. I do have a few more hats. So, not available. But you know what is available? I think it might have became available today. Anyway, the link is in the description. The Orville Season 1 soundtrack was released today or yesterday. Anyway, it was just a day or two ago. It is available now. I put the Amazon link in the description below if you want to get the official Orville Season 1 CD soundtrack. CD, that's hilarious. Marshall Arnold says, Dan is the man. Hope to see his awkwardness more this season. He's hilarious. Oh, God, I love him. Mike Henry, who is the voice of Cleveland Brown on Family Guy. He's the one who plays Dan. I don't know if he's in tonight's episode. I would hope so. At least, you know, a little something, something. Yaphet is in tonight's episode. I don't remember if Mike Henry's name popped up on the screen. Cillian Bray says, quit your job, JP, and do this full-time. Well, that's the goal, is to build this up so that I can. I currently don't make a lot of money with the YouTubes. This isn't 2009. This isn't PewDiePie's day. This is the new era of YouTube. So you get thousands upon thousands of views a day. You'll get thousands upon thousands of half pennies to go along with it. But it's all about having a good time and talking with you wonderful people. Hey, and I always get this wrong. Thank you so much, the Conley. I'm so sorry. I get it wrong every time. Sorry, I'm late. Work stuff. I get it. Work stuff. I very much get work stuff. There's so many things I want to talk about. I'm like, oh, God, I want to do an episode right now. I'm like, I can't. I'm at work. Oh, well. Someday, you guys, we'll get there. We'll get there together. And hopefully bring some of you along with me. And, you know, I'm sure some of you are writers wanting to write about stuff that's going on in sci-fi-tainment, comedy-tainment, entertainment. Some of you make music. Some of you have opinions on cameras. We'll all work together. We'll get this thing going. We'll be the new Nerdist. Egotasticfuntime.com. Your one-stop shop for fun-attainment. Christopher Leonard, thank you. Christopher Leonard says, hey, JP, love your show. Rorschach 12. JP, could you ever imagine Orville and Star Trek crossovers? Orville becoming the official Star Trek brand? Well, right now, even though the Orville is its own, it's doing its own thing. It's still the closest thing to Star Trek. It's the closest thing, but you never know. You never know. We might get legit Star Trek coming up here. Dan Crane Mirror Universe episode. That is something. Now, okay, before we get to the next clip from tonight's episode, which we're going to do here in about 2 or 3 minutes, I'll give you guys 2 scenarios. I'll give you guys one thing that's going on in this season with Gordon and Ed. Gordon and Ed later in the season. I don't know exactly what episode. I'm going to guess episode 6 or 7, possibly 8. There is going to be a time travel episode. Ed and Gordon will be traveling through time. I don't know the exact details, but I do know that there's a newsie involved, a little, you know, newspaper boy. I've mentioned this before as a possibility. Now I know for a fact that it's true. You know, 3 or 4 months ago I said, oh, this little thing that I saw makes me feel that there's probably a time travel episode, but I don't know for sure. Now I know for a fact. It's been confirmed by Scott, who plays Gordon Malloy, that we are getting a time travel episode. Victor Martinez, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And John Palange, I appreciate it as well. Work stuff sucks. Work stuff does suck, John. Boy, do I know it. Well, you know what? Work doesn't suck as long as you're passionate about what you work about. What your work is. Words, English. I speak it sometimes. Yeah, work sucks unless you love it. And so here's the thing: is I have 2 full-time jobs. My regular full-time job that I hate, and then I have another full-time job that I love called Egotastic FunTime. I love it. The harder I work, the better I feel. Ariel Coffin says, I adore time travel episodes. I'm going to put an extra word into that. Put words in your mouth there and say, I simply adore time travel. Yay! I do too. I think every time travel Star Trek episode is in my top 5 Star Trek. If they had 5 time travel Star Trek episodes, those are my top 5 favorite episodes of Star Trek. I'll tell you that right now. So you guys, let's get a little bit more details of what's going on with Alara here with a second clip that I have from tonight's episode of Home, where we get a little bit more detail of what's going on, thanks to Dr. Claire Finn. And action. Spoilers.
Physical deterioration as a result of changes in gravity is nothing new. It happened to the earliest human astronauts. Even with extensive physical training while in microgravity, muscle volume and peak power inevitably decrease.
Has it ever happened to a Xelayan?
There have been several cases, yes, but the atrophy seems to be affecting Alara at a faster rate than most, probably because she left home so young.
So, what do I do?
The good news is the effects aren't permanent yet. If you can reacclimate to Xelayan gravity, there's a 90% chance you'll regain your strength.
How would she reacclimate?
She's gonna have to return to her home planet.
What? For how long?
Well, there's no way to know. There have been documented cases of Xelayans reacclimating within weeks. Some took longer.
How much longer?
Well, the longest recovery period on record was about 4 years. And there was one subject who never recovered. He never left Xeleyah again. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just giving you the data.
And if I don't go back?
In time, your body will adjust fully to Earth normal gravity. After that, if you try to go back to Xeleyah...
Crushed like a grape.
Without protection, yes.
When would she have to leave?
To maximize her chances? As soon as possible.
Uh-oh, Pescadios. The Orville. So right there, Alara's going back home. We don't know for how long. Claire said for, a few weeks or 4 years or never. 4 years, that's 4 seasons, you guys. So Alara is gone. I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's definitely the entire season. Now, she might have a guest role, but like I said in previous episodes, Penny Johnson-Gerald, when the season wrapped in October, she said goodbye to everybody. Oh, I'm going to miss all my friends and, all these wonderful cast and all this stuff. She listed everybody in the cast except for Halston Sage, because Halston hasn't been working on the show in a very long time. So, I don't think we're going to get much Alara time for the rest of the season, if at all. But you never know what will happen. But I'm really interested to meet Jessica Szohr as Tala. We haven't got a lot of footage of her. We haven't had a single word uttered from her in any of the previews or anything. We've just seen glimpses of her. So I can't wait to see what she's like, what her personality's like. Are they going to say, thanks, Exploring Fate. I appreciate that so very much. This opens the door for her possibly coming back. Assuming they don't kill her at the end, because she is going to run into trouble in this episode, as we know from the trailers, from the previews that they've been putting out. I don't know if you guys keep track like I do. I keep track. So Alara goes home, right, to convalesce. But there's trouble a-brewing. John Billingsley is playing a character named Canvas, who has some sort of beef with the Catons. I don't know why. Frozen Owl, thank you so much. Hey, JP, did Seth already know Scott Grimes, or was he a big fan of Critters? Probably both. Scott Grimes has been playing Steve on American Dad for many a years now. For many a years. Scott Grimes is Steve. So they know each other from that. Michael Burns, thank you so much. Great show, JP. Watch you all the time. Thank you. I wish I could be there even more for you. Of course, you'd probably get sick of me by then. But Alara goes home. There's problems. John Billingsley is playing a character named Canvas, whose ears aren't as pointy as everyone else's. I don't know why. He's shooting at everybody. He's the one that shot Ed in his gravity suit and knocks him back when he goes to the back door of the Catan house. He's chasing Alara There's another character played by Carrie O'Malley in this episode. She plays a Xeleyah named Florata, and she is the one that in the season 2 trailer, Alara is fighting with over a pistol. The reason I know that is because I looked through the IMDb's, and apparently Carrie O'Malley has a stunt double in this episode, as does Halston Sage. So they're the two fighting. And when I looked at a bunch of pictures of the actress and the scenes from the episode, I'm like, yeah, that's her. Anyway, you guys. So here's what's interesting. Alara goes back home. There's trouble at the Catan house. There's invaders. She's already lost 5% of her bone density, 20% of her muscle mass. She's on Xeleyah now, which means she has absolutely no super strength whatsoever. She's just a regular Xeleyan girl who's actually a little bit weaker than normal and not doing well. And this invasion happens. She has to use her security skills as being the chief of security in the Union. She has to use those skills to fight back and save her family without any of her superpowers, okay? So that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Now, I don't know if she gets killed. I don't know if, maybe she gets shot in the eye and she has to wear an eye patch forever now. I have no idea what's going to go down with that. So we're going to see tonight in this episode if Alara even survives. And why is John Billingsley, Canvas, so mad? What's he trying to do? What's his history with the Catan family? I don't know, but I'd like to know. Also, did you notice in that scene that we watched there where Claire was explaining what was going on and how long it might take for Alara to recoup, assuming she recoups at all, because that's also a possibility. On screen, it said Robert Picardo, and then right after that it said John Billingsley. Right there, back to back, 2 Star Trek doctors. Dr. Zimmerman, the Doctor, and Phlox, right there in the same screen time, well, within a half second. And they're going to share screen time in this episode. I cannot wait. And I hope they eventually release some behind-the-scenes pics from production of both of them together in costume. And when they do, I'm going to show it to you. Beaumont resident says, JP, you need a cameo on the Orville. I swear! By the moon and the stars in the sky? I agree. I need a cameo on the Orville, but I'll just be happy. I'm happy just to talk about the Orville. I'm happy that production is actually aware of my show. I hope they don't get too angry with some of the stuff that I do today. Tom Constantino, the editor / associate producer on the show, he posted something. He posted, a promotional pic, Alara and Ed, and in sick bay, but you can't really see her hand all like nervous looking, and it said, tonight on the Orville or something like that. And I said, boy, I responded, I go, boy, I wonder what what Claire has to say to Alara that's making her so worried, because I seen the full pic. And he responded with like, man, you like to make people in the studio anxious, don't you? And I go, no, I just like to get people to watch the show. Good old Tom. He's actually the one that sent me this hat. James Dodd, that's a very good question. James Dodd says, do your work colleagues know you are a huge YouTube celebrity? First off, I'm not a huge YouTube celebrity. Secondly, no, they do not. I have one buddy that I've known for a very long time that works there. He knows. He's doing his own thing as well. And he knows, but no one else is allowed to know, because the last thing I need is those people going online and seeing my stuff, because also they're very they're not as forward thinking as me, so they'll be like, what's this guy talking about? I can't believe he works here. Oh God, exorcism, something like that. So no, they don't know, but I do tell them that I have a side job, a side business that I'm working at building. And then but I didn't tell them the day that I can. I'll be like, I'm out of here, bye, peace out. Cellophany. I didn't say that right. Cellofanity Frog. Cellofanity Frog? I don't, it's one of those, sorry. Hey JP, longtime subscriber. First time catching you live. Oh man! Cellofanity. You need to show up here every Thursday. Because the Orville is airing every Thursday. While it's airing, I'll be here live every Thursday. Star Trek nitpickers. Keep it secret, JP. I am. Just because it's like, I don't need them. I'm very private at work. I'm like, I'll give you the bare minimum of what's going on in my real life. Otherwise, you don't need to know. Apple Crow. I just got home from work running an event solo, Han Solo, because everyone else called in sick. So what I need right now is booze and Orville. Well, the Orville starts in 16 minutes, you guys. So as some of you go off to watch the episode, the first 5 minutes you've already seen, but as you go off to watch the episode, make yourselves known. We'll say goodbye to you. Come back if you'd like. Try not to spoil anything. Try. I know it's hard. But I've spoiled everything already, so what's the point, right? Victor Martinez, thank you so much. Victor says, I'm at work, but I'm listening and watching you on the sly. I appreciate it. Garnylicious says, kiddo, I'm loving the stream. Again, waiting for the show to start, and she won't quit bugging me. Wanted to say hi in the yellow. She's 4. So hey from me and hello from Serena JP. We love you, bub. Well, thank you so much, Garnylicious, and thank you, Serena. Serena, mwah, I hope you have a egotastic fun time. And before the episode starts, make sure all of you, Xeleyah. Boy, I called that Xeleyah one too, though that was just a guess. But, you know, as the episode got closer and closer, I'm like, yeah, it's a peace ceremony. It's making sense. We all kind of called that one together. John Von Vaughn says, what are the chances Yaphet turns evil and kills Alara? That would be original. That would be very original, but I think the chances are 0. Absolutely 0. That'd be hilarious, though. Exploring Fate, thank you again. I appreciate that. I believe the Xeleyah that Dr. Finn was talking about that never returns to is the guy shooting John Billingsley. Also at the end, I'm going to reread this. Also at the end, they show Alara sit. I believe the Xeleyah that Dr. Finn was talking about that never returns is the guy shooting John Billingsley. Also at the end, they show Alara sitting. Now, I think the Alara sitting is... I don't know when they're going to have the Alara sitting. I bet you they have the Alara sitting scene early on. But, man, that's a good theory right there. John Billingsley is the one who never was able to return to leave Xeleyah. Ooh, let's see where that goes. Okay, you guys remember Exploring Fate came up with that. So, the next time we meet, if we find out that was true or not, we're going to have to give Exploring Fate some credit on that one. Cheyenne says, JP, I'm right here, Cheyenne. I'm looking for your question. Can I put your name in my YouTube name? Is there a way to privately contact you? Oh, I see. I don't know exactly if there's private on the actual YouTube, but if you go to Talking the Orville or Egotastic FunTime, which is the same thing, on Twitter, you can private message me. If you go to the fan page on Facebook, you can privately message me. If you go into my About page on the YouTube channel, it'll have my business email, popstalgiashow@gmail.com, which I really need to change to egotasticfuntime.com at gmail. But anyway, actually, I think I did that, but I never checked that. I need to start checking that. Anyway, if you go to that, you'll see my email. Just message me on email. So many of you do. So many of you already message me and we chat. So go ahead and do that, and we'll chat. General Pedrosky, man, you called it every time. So far, there's been a few things I got wrong, but it was very little things that didn't even matter. It was just kind of off-the-cuff stuff. I can't even remember what it was. If I do remember, I'll tell you, because I really don't care about, you know, oh, I was right or I was wrong. It doesn't matter. If I'm right, I'm right. That's awesome. We'll have a fun time gloating. If I'm not, I'll admit it. Cillian Bray says, people still use Facebook? Yeah, unfortunately. I use Facebook 8 million times a day. For my channel. You got to, right? But mostly I'm on Twitter when it comes to getting cool information, because Facebook's like, here's some old information from 4 days ago, and we're going to show it to you 500 times, whereas Twitter's a constant stream. Twitter's awesome. Took me years to get into the Twitter game, but I prefer Twitter. Though it would be nice to have nothing. Wouldn't nothing be nice? Ariel Coffin says, JP, you need to start an Orville Discord server for fans. Or maybe I already did. Just the other day I did that. I haven't posted the survey yet, but it's Egotastic FunTime. Check it out. Or maybe it was Talking to Orville. Either way, it's one of those two. It's on there. Send me some invites. I'll eventually put it into the descriptions of all my videos when I remember to do that. But we got a Discord, you guys. Actually, I set up on Discord like 3 years ago and totally forgot. I used to use it for a couple buddies of mine where we used to do some YouTube stuff together. Oh, Shine says, sorry, where's your email again? It should be on, you know, you go to my page. There's the About section. You click on About. It might be on there, but it's on one of those tags. I mean, sorry, one of those tabs. Probably the About one, and it'll say business email. It's not really business. I don't really have a business. But, you know, I was trying to sound all fancy. Yeah, we'll have to do the Discord thing. I was just using it kind of for regular private chat, but with a couple people. But we'll see what the, you know, what it can do. Oh, 10 minutes till the Orville starts for some of you. It would start in 10 minutes for me, but I don't even have my TV on. I'm not even going to mess with it. Not going to get distracted. We'll probably do, we'll do this until, you know, we'll probably do this another 30 minutes. Now, I'm really interested to know, oh, I forgot to get a picture. We'll watch that clip again, the arm wrestling clip. I wanted to show you guys something. And some of you might have missed it, so we'll watch that clip from tonight's episode again here in just a second. Now, I also have the titles for the next couple episodes of the Orville. And I have another interesting tidbit, a storyline that's going on with Gordon this season, besides the time travel episode. I don't know all the details, but I do know some of the details. But the detail that would be really juicy, that I would like to know, I do not know as of yet. But I will find out at some point. So I'm very interested to see if we are going to meet Tala tonight. We're on Xeleyah. Tala is a Xeleyan. Is she going to be there? Is she a family member of Tala? I'm guessing that Tala is Alara's sister, okay? You're going to have to grade me on this one. This isn't one that I know for sure, but the fact that they look so similar, I'm going to guess, even though I wouldn't think that she had a sister, because in Firestorm, the mom said, oh, you woke me up, and she never mentioned any other family members. You know, oh, we all got out of the fire. She just said, you and I got out of the fire. I'm guessing that Tala is Alara's older sister. And we're going to find that out tonight, hopefully, if we meet Tala. Thank you so much, Frozen Owl. JP, have you ever been to the piano bar in Tulsa? No, I don't think I have. I've heard about it. There's actually a lot of really cool new places downtown. I mean, this place is gentrified as hell, and I like it. I love overpriced pastry. But no, it's cool. So many cool bars and clubs now. It's amazing. There's a new place called Shuffles, which is a cool bar and restaurant, but also they have 4,000 board games, different board games, and you can you know, rent them out and, you know, by the hour and play Star Trek board games or whatever, any other 4,000 games they have. Small Yoda 3, Egotastic FunTime. JP, are you worried about the ratings? Fox seems to really like to kill sci-fi shows. Well, I don't know if they usually kill sci-fi shows early. We're now in season 2. No, I'm not worried about the ratings, because even though the ratings dipped, so far this season, which is understandable for some reasons. It was still like the top 5 of TV shows. So we're good. We are good. But also this season is just going to keep getting better and better and better starting tonight. Now, one of the things, Xeleyah, which I loved. I absolutely loved Xeleyah. It was character driven. It set up a bunch of plot points, which we're going to be visiting here soon this season. But it was very character driven. A lot of people are thinking, oh, a new season of something that's going to be lots of explosions and excitement. No, it wasn't explosions and excitement. It was fun stuff with Bortus peeing, and then getting caught up with everybody. I thought it was a great reintroduction, which I think was the point. The second episode, which was the carryover, Primal Urges, which I loved, but but still, it's the problem with Primal Urges that I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a mistake. Is I think what they should have done, because you can't have 2 episodes to start the season off where both episodes are about Bortus's bodily functions. Though I love episodes about Bortus's bodily functions. I think the error that they had was doing that back to back, trying to get over with what they should have done, because I think it would have fit into the season no problem, except for the badges. Actually, that's actually a problem. Maybe they should have done it season 3. They should have, or episode 3 tonight. They should have reshot all the scenes with Alara in that episode, which is few. Should have reshot those scenes with Jessica Szohr as Tala, and played the episode later in the season. I'm guessing we'd have to do episode 3, but at least it wouldn't be 2 in a row, right? Because by episode 4 next week, I'm pretty sure we have the new look with the uniforms, the new metal badges, the new epaulets. So they should have done Home last week and Primal Urges this week, or at least Primal Urges. Well, as long as it's before the metal badges. I don't know if we have metal badges next week, but that's what they should have done. Friendly Neighborhood Tofu, thank you so much. Do you think Alara will bang Isaac on the way out and be recast as a villain later, like Tasha Yar? Oh my god, that'd be amazing. No, I don't think any of that's going to happen at all. Whatsoever. I don't think she's going to bang Isaac. I think Claire is going to be banging Isaac this season. I'm actually... I'll tell you guys when I'm 99.9% sure about something, but in this case with Claire and Isaac, I'm only 99.4% sure that Claire and Isaac are going to be hooking up this season. And I'm going to drink my wine. My name is Harry Mudd. I'm the most bonnet on the beach you've ever seen. But the Orville starts in 4 minutes. So as you guys head off, get my attention. We'll say goodbye to you. Otherwise, the rest of us will just keep talking. And I'm never going to get it right. You should just, every time you do that, every time you super chat me, you should just put the spelling of your name. The Canley, off to watch. Have fun. Well, have fun watching tonight's episode. This is going to be a juicy episode. This is when everything comes to fruition. All my predictions. I've made a lot of predictions. This is the most important one. It's tonight. Thank you so much, Agrios414. JP, sorry I'm late. Family stuff. I want to, again, same as last week, ask who the MVP of Primal Urges was and why. I remember that question. Primal Urges... I think the MVP of Primal Urges was, and I have a reason to list 8 different names. I'm going to say Clyden is the MVP. Clyden had to put up with a lot from Bortus in that episode, but not as much as those dudes in Passion Cove had to put up with. Kevin Sharp, thank you so much. I love all the inside info on the Orville. Thank goodness for Egotastic FunTime. Well, thank you very much, Kevin Sharp. And Egotastic FunTime, me, Egotastic JP, says, thank goodness for the Orville. Because without the Orville, Egotastic FunTime would not be as fun of a time. We'd probably be talking about, I don't know, Doctor Who right now. Which is actually something I would like to talk about. But... I just don't have the time to do a Doctor Who episodes, though I would. Someday, you guys, I'll be doing 5 episodes a week, and we're going to be talking Star Trek, we're going to be talking the Orville, we're going to be talking Doctor Who, we're going to be talking Star Wars, we're going to be talking about whatever MCU movie comes out, we'll be talking about whatever DC movie comes out. That'll be low on the totem pole, but we'll talk about it. Except for Wonder Woman, because that looks like it's going to be amazing. Alright, Mirror Universe Zot. Out of here. Later. See you later. Curtis Tate, great preview. Now off to watch the episode. Also, speaking of previews, this scene is going to be playing on live television in 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and us watch it here first. What's up, SP4 NQD? So bye, everyone who's going. I'm still going to say goodbye as we watch this clip. So I'm going to be talking over this clip a little bit as I say goodbye to people. But when you're watching this clip, the arm wrestling clip, look at the uniforms of a bunch of people. A bunch of people in the background have these uniforms. They're all gray, but they're union uniforms. They're all gray, but they're different. They have the different positions on them. I don't know if they're young upstarts, cadets, or what. Also, when people are placing their bets during the scene, what are they betting? Money? They don't have money. Credits? I have no idea. There shouldn't be credits. Environmental simulator time? I don't know. But check it out. See you later, T-Bone.
There he is. Let's go.
Thank you, Mike.
Here we go. Let's do this.
Oh, come on, you guys. I'm eating here.
Alara, this is now an official Friday night tradition. You cannot deprive us.
Isaac, get your shiny butt over here. It's go time.
I still fail to comprehend the purpose of this ritual.
We're circus animals, Isaac. I hate to break it to you.
All right, come on, everybody. Place your bets. Use com scanner code 7499. Alpha 6.
Hey, what's the score?
Alara's won 16, Isaac's at 14.
All right, let's just get this over with.
Star.
I have wagered on you, Lieutenant. Do not fail me.
Ooh, I don't know, Tom Graham.
And go.
Kevin Sharp, have fun. Thanks, JP Hilby. Cloud William.
Boom, and it's Isaac for the win.
Look, Cloud.
What's the matter? Alara, you okay?
Call Dr. Finn. I think my arm is broken.
Also, what should we call the guy with the 2 eyes on top of each other?
How's that?
Biclops?
It's much better. Thanks.
Well, it was a clean break, so it should be fine in a half hour or so. Just don't put too much stress on it before then.
Eccleston's Angel.
Claire, how did this happen?
Hardin says, woohoo.
I mean, I know Isaac and I are evenly matched, but to break my arm in Earth gravity?
Alara, how have you been feeling otherwise? Any unusual soreness or inflammation?
Fate. Go out there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little, but I've also been working out more lately.
And I'll just put the second clip on here, too.
Well, your muscle mass is down 20%.
No.
Your bone density is down 5%.
She doesn't have to doubt her powers.
Alara,
she's losing them.
Your strength is deteriorating.
What? Okay, that was the arm wrestling clip. We've been waiting to see what goes on with that. I predicted that she would break her arm or something during that, and it turned out to be true. Because I am the Orville Evangelist. Put your hand on the screen. Now here's the second clip. We find out what's going on with her. Oh, you missed the background, people? Well, they're all there. You're going to...
Physical deterioration as a result of changes in gravity is nothing new. It happened to the earliest human astronauts. Even with extensive physical training while in microgravity, muscle volume and peak power inevitably decrease.
Has it ever happened to a Xeleyah?
There have been several cases, yes, but the atrophy seems to be affecting Alara at a faster rate than most, probably because she left home so young.
So, what do I do?
Warburton.
The good news is the effects aren't permanent yet. If you can reacclimate to Xeleyan gravity, there's a 90% chance you'll regain your strength.
How would she reacclimate?
Probably not.
She's going to have to return to her home planet.
For how long?
Well, there's no way to know. There have been documented cases of Xeleyans reacclimating within weeks. Some took longer.
How much longer?
Well, the longest recovery period on record was about 4 years. And there was one subject who never recovered. He never left Xeleyah again.
That might be John Billingsley.
I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just giving you the data.
And if I don't go back?
Or Evangelist.
In time, your body will adjust fully to Earth normal gravity. After that, if you try to go back to Xeleyah...
No, we're not watching it, Food Smart.
Like a grape.
This is just a clip.
Without protection, yes.
When would she have to leave?
To maximize her chances, as soon as possible.
I can't watch the episode until tomorrow. Thanks, Eccleston's Angel. Dax Jacobs says, JP is the Oracle of Orville. Alright, so I'm very interested now. Exploring Fate said that whole spiel about what if, because, you know, the way Claire just said that right now is like one person was never able to return or ever able to leave Xeleyah. Is that going to be John Billingsley's character, Canvas? We'll have to wait tonight and see. Now, also, another little sneak peek of a storyline that's going on later in the season. I don't know what episode. I don't know how long we're going to have to wait. Now, at first, the first thing I told you was that Gordon and Ed are having a time travel adventure this season, okay? I'm guessing it's going to be the 40s or 30s or something, Earth. There's a newsie there throwing out newspapers. Anyway, I told you guys that. Also, there's another storyline with Gordon. Gordon has gets into a relationship this season, which we want him to do, right? But he's not getting into a relationship with just any person. He's actually getting into a hollow relationship with a holographic character in a program. Remember that one time that Geordi LaForge fell in love with what's-her-face, Dr. Whoever, or Professor Whoever, that holographic program, and he fell in love with her, and then he met the real version, and she's like, well, I don't even know you, dude. Anyway, Gordon falls in love, or has a girlfriend, and Bortus meets this girlfriend in Season 2 on the holodeck, but the girlfriend is somebody famous from our time here in the 2019 time. Somebody famous, some famous actress that we all know, a household name, I don't know who, is going out with Gordon as a holographic character, playing herself in that holographic program. This was confirmed. Scott Grimes confirmed it. He didn't say who it was, but he says it's someone from 400 years in the past, which is nowadays time because the Orville is 400 years in the future. He has a relationship with the holographic version of her. So we're going to get a cameo this season from some actress. I don't know who, but it's a famous person that we all know. And it's Gordon's girlfriend. And Bortus meets her on the holodeck. So that's a boom! Spoiler alert, kinda. But not really, because Scott Grimes talked about that recently. Now, some of you are saying Leah Brahm. I don't know that name. Let me look it up. Leah Brahms. Go to image. Oh, Leah Brahms from from the Geordi LaForge episode. That's the holographic character that he fell in love with, or the holographic version of the real person that he fell in love with. Leah Brahms. I kind of fell in love with her too. Now, I couldn't decide if I liked the real version of her or the holographic version of her more. But yeah, Gordon is dating some famous actress that we all know, and she plays herself, but I have no idea who it's going to be. Maybe Lindsay Lohan? That would be amazing. Who do you guys think it is? Who is Gordon dating? And I'm going to put my feelers out there, and I'm going to try to find out who this is early on. And I'm going to spoil the hell out of it for you. Because if I have to get all these spoilers, you have to get all these spoilers. I'm not going to suffer alone. HM says, bye, Felicia. Oh my God, Cardinal Doomsday. That's amazing. Cardinal Doomsday says it's a Kardashian, I bet. That would be amazing if Gordon was dating a Kardashian. Ah, that would be amazing. Sorry, I'm just reading you guys stuff. I'm at that point now where it's like I have to be careful what I read out. It might be a big spoiler. Sometimes I miss it. Yeah, Trek Guy. Yeah, we've brought that up before, but I mean we haven't really gone into it because they haven't gone into it on the show. But Trek Guy 66 says seems like they could increase the gravity in her quarters to counteract the lower gravity elsewhere on the ship. And you would think if this is something that's happened before with Xeleyans, and I would think it would happen to every single Xeleyan that was off of their planet, right? That they would have preemptive measures to prevent this from happening because they know it happens, right? It's not just going to be like, oh, that's something that happens. No, they should know that. They're all sciencey and stuff, right? Rorschach 12 says a Kardashian as a Cardassian. Benjamin Jones. Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, my God. Yeah, who would Gordon be dating? Denise Crosby, Bob Spiegel says. Hey, thanks, Lance. I appreciate that. You are what makes the fun time so egotastic, Lance, right? Ooh, Tom Grant. Oh, that's a good one. Tom Graham says Mila Kunis would be cool. And she already knows Seth. Just because she already knows Seth and she's part of the Sethosphere, I think that's a really great guess that it'd be Mila Kunis. That is a really great guess. Yeah, Beaumont resident also says Mila Kunis' hollow girlfriend. Mila Lodsmaki. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. I don't speak words too good. Maybe Jennifer Lawrence. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Just because I love Jennifer Lawrence. I'm getting giddy just thinking about her. Rip934 says, oh, it's absolutely Mila Kunis. That is such a good guess. Why didn't I think of that? Kevin Sharp says, commercial time. Well, you better be careful. You don't even have time for a Xeleyah with the new commercials. And that's another thing. See, when I watch the show, I watch it on Hulu. Actually, or Amazon Prime, because I already pre-ordered it. No commercials at all. So, for instance, where people were kind of not feeling Xeleyah and not feeling Primal Urges so much, when I watched both episodes, and I've watched them both 4 or 5 times at this point, I had no commercials. So it was a nice, great experience. I loved everything. I'm like, well, what are people having a problem with? I think the commercial breaks being so often, even though they're short, takes people out of it and kind of ruins the experience. I think it's a bad idea. I appreciate the idea. I appreciate longer episodes, especially since I watch them without commercials. But I do think it's ruining the experience a little bit for fans of the show. Bird of Prey says, damn it, JP, people were saying that for 10 minutes. I don't know. Stupid Meg. Richard Bradshaw says Mila is so far the best guess. It really is. Now I don't want to like put that into my brain as a concrete thing because then I won't be, you know, as objective when I'm putting my feelers out and trying to search and look for clues to see who it might be. But oh, that's a good place to start. The Filthy News. Hey JP, well hello Filthy News. Here's what I love about Mila Kunis. I've never been like a Mila Kunis, like, oh god, I want to Mila her Kunis, you know, type of thing. But I love Mila Kunis. She just seems like a cool woman to hang out with. I just love to hang out with her, have a beer, chill out. If she's like, hey JP, you want to come back to my place with me and Ashton? I'd think about it. I'd think about it, but I'd probably say no. I said, no, I'm all right, Mila. Let's just be friends. Eccleston's Angel says, Hulu has no commercials. Well, I do pay for the Hulu that has no commercials, but I also believe that, from what people have told me, what you wonderful people have told me, that when you watch it on Hulu, even if you have Hulu with commercials, it's still less commercials. So that's a plus right there. This segment of Egotastic FunTime, Talking the Orville pre-show live explosion, was brought to you by Hulu.com. Lance Wright, Jerry Ryan. Okay. What if Gordon's hollow girlfriend is an awesome excuse? An awesome excuse to bring in a Star Trek actress. Because you know how they love having Star Trek cameos on the Orville. I mean, last week in Primal Urges, Minister Thies was supposed to be played by Nana Visitor. So which Star Trek actress would Gordon be dating now? That's a good question right there. Let us know your answers. Valiant B2 says, best looking planet in the Union. That's not a spoiler. That's Gordon's talking about Xeleyah. Xeleyah is beautiful. He says that in the trailer. In one of the season 2 trailers. We already knew he was talking about Xeleyah, so that's not a spoiler, but he apparently just said that minutes ago. And thanks, Eccleston's Angel. JP, you are funny. Here's my money. Well, you're definitely going to find me funny now because you gave me your money. That's the best way to find me funny. So the song goes. Yeah, and also, here's another great thing. Well, not a great thing, but it's great to me because I love alcohol. Why does Xeleyah have the most awesome alcoholic beverage in the world? They had those Xeleyan Blossom drinks last episode, and Kelly and Ed had them when they were day drinking, and they pop them together, they cheer them, and it makes that cool thing. That's awesome. Why has that got to be a Xeleyan drink? JG says Roxanne Dawson. Ooh, that's a good guess. That's B'Elanna Torres. God, you guys, in the 90s, I was full on in love with B'Elanna Torres. Full on in love with B'Elanna Torres. Tom Graham. Yep, just checking. Jerry Ryan was born in 1968. She is 50. Wow, I thought she was even older than that. Yeah, I don't even think age with Gordon. I don't think age would matter. I don't even think it would be a... He might have a 60-year-old famous girlfriend. I don't think that'd be a problem. Hector Cortez Sandoval says, what time does the show start? Well, in most time zones, it's at 9 p.m. I'm in Central Time right now, so it's 8 p.m. my time. But 9 p.m. most other times, Eastern and Pacific, I believe. Yum Lemming Kebab says, because Xeleyans have no livers. Now, that was an interesting thing we learned in the season premiere in Xeleyah. Xeleyans don't have livers. Now, that's weird, though. Well, they must have something else that we don't even understand. But they have to filter their food, right? Filter their, bad stuff in their food and drink. Edgy Pumpkin. T'Pol would be awesome, but of course, I don't think T'Pol... who plays T'Pol? I know her name. Anyway, I'm blanking on it. But anyway, T'Pol I don't think would be famous enough. I think they want a household name to play Gordon's holographic girlfriend. For, to reach the wider audience. Blossom Whiskeys, Eccleston clarifies. Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I think it's going to be someone super famous and it probably has nothing to do with Star Trek. I'm guessing Gordon's hollow girlfriend. Mila Kunis was a good one. Super famous. Has that Seth connection. I love the idea of a Kardashian. Or Kardashian? No, Kardashian. Aaron Hall says Alara's parents are kind of a-holes. Yes, that we know. Jolene Blaylock, Edgy Pumpkin, clarifies. Yeah, I've been calling Alara's parents dicks ever since season 1. Yeah, actually, lately I've really been having an inkling, or a crave. I don't want to say craving. I don't even want to say inkling. I kind of want to rewatch. It's been many, many years. I kind of want to rewatch Star Trek Enterprise. I loved it. I mean, the first 2 seasons, kind of, the whole time I was like, I don't know. Second season, I was like, okay. Third season and fourth season, I was like, I cannot wait for a new episode. But also, how innocent were we to kind of have feelings with Star Trek Enterprise, knowing what we know now, knowing what can be done to Star Trek now. New Star Trek. I'm not going to get into new Star Trek too much because that's a... I need to put my thoughts together for the new Star Trek news that came out about the Picard show, which I have, pros and cons for and against it. With the new information that came out. But knowing what we know now, Star Trek Enterprise basically looks like the most Star Trek-y show ever made compared to a new Star Trek. James Dodd, not Orville talk, but what do you think of the news that the Kelvin Timeline version of Star Trek is essentially dead in film form? Unless they use it in TV form. I kind of miss it because I liked where they started going with the Kelvin Timeline and Star Trek Beyond. I'm like, okay, now you're doing something right. It's not necessarily the Star Trek that we know, but they made a fun Star Trek movie taking place in an alternate universe, which is fine. I forgive an alternate universe as long as it's not Prime. And then so I'm kind of sad to see it go because it kind of grew on me. Not Into Darkness, but Star Trek Beyond, and I was fine with 2009. It was what it needed to be. And then the new Prime Timeline Picard show is going to be dealing with the Romulans. And the Romulans, it's been confirmed about Picard dealing with the destruction of Romulus that kicked off the Kelvin Timeline. But of course, it's not dealing with the Kelvin Timeline side of that. It's dealing with the Prime Timeline side of that, which is cool. I'm going to do a whole episode about that. I've been putting my thoughts together today, and I'll hopefully have that written tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Bird of Prey says, Enterprise gets better every time I watch it. I honestly think its premiere right after 9/11 hurt it more than we thought. Probably, because it had, like, a little bit terroristy vibe. What, the Klingons are invading? Well, not really, but Paz McGraws with tonight's episode of the Orville Home says, great episode so far. Mike Fodderall says, Hoshi. That's Hoshi from Enterprise. Grace Park says JG. Clint Harden, the Orville sure does seem to have to shuttle its crew members home a lot. Yeah, this is, yeah, absolutely. Episode 1, we went to Moklis, we had to go home. Tonight we're going to Xeleyah, but Xeleyah is the place that we've all been waiting to see, so I'm glad we're getting there. I do know we're going to be learning a lot about Kaylon Prime. I think it's called Kaylon Prime. Isaac's planet. We're going to be, I think, visiting. We're either going to visit Isaac's planet in this season, or we're going to learn a lot more about it and maybe be introduced to some other Kaylons, which would be very interesting. Bird of Prey has faith of the heart. Agris414, thank you again. If a partner stabbing the other in Moclan culture means divorce, how could they still be married? Bortus wasn't meant to live. That seems weird. Well, maybe they have it where if he lives, they try to work it out. People get divorced and they get back together after, the doctor heals their stab wounds. It happens. Beaumont resident JP, it's not at all happy with what they are planning to do with the Picard show, essentially wiping out TNG. Well, I'm looking into that. I'm going to see if maybe that's not true, but I can't say right now because I haven't done enough research on it. Are they going to wipe out Kirk's timeline as well? Thoughts? Well, I'm not even sure. You might know more than I do, but I'm not sure they're wiping out TNG. I just think they're having Picard deal with Romulus being destroyed, which gets destroyed way after TNG. And because Picard has a huge connection to Romulus. Being with Shinzon was created by the Romulans, so he dealt with that whole issue. Unification Part 1 and 2 in the TNG series, where Leonard Nimoy guest starred as Spock. That was a whole Romulan timeline. Spock was trying to unify Vulcans and Romulans back together. It's kind of like the Pawnee Eagleton merger from season 6 of Parks and Rec, but Star Trek style. So I don't know. You might be right. I haven't looked too far into it yet because I'm Orville crazy and I got so much Orville stuff to do, and Orville stuff takes precedent. But I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna give all my thoughts on it. I'm gonna give the silver lining if there is one, and the poop lining if there is one of that too, because there more than likely is. But we'll see. Darkstar57 says the special effects are fantastic, or should I say egotastic. Well, I can't wait to see tonight's episode. I can't wait to see Xeleyah. I mean, just the little tidbits that we've seen in the trailers have been beautiful. I can't wait to see Alara, doing her little horse riding thing, which I know Halston Sage was excited about because Halston Sage in real life rides horses. And so I'm looking forward to see what goes on. There's so many storylines in this episode that I know the beginnings of. I don't know the endings of. Capital Dexter says, nice Parks and Rec call out. Well, Capital Dexter, you might be surprised to know I know every single thing about Parks and Recreation. There is not a trivia question you can put in the chat that I would not be able to answer. Not only to your liking, but probably more than to your liking. Richie Poole says, what are you drinking, JP? I'm drinking fermented grape juice in the form of a California Red. Now, okay. I don't promote drinking to children. I don't promote drinking to adults unless you're going to drink too much and, ruin your liver. But I'm drinking Menage a Trois. What? Menage a Trois. I'm sensing you're having an egotastic fun time. Tom Graham says, are they going to adjust the TNG timeline to match the Kelvin universe? I don't think they are. They might look-wise, but no, I don't think Star Trek is going to adjust Prime to match the Kelvin timeline, because in Star Trek 2009, it all takes place in the Kelvin timeline, but in the Kelvin universe timeline. But the thing is, a little tiny bit of that started in the Prime timeline. In the Prime timeline, Romulus was destroyed by a planet-going supernova, Primal Urges, and Spock got thrown through a time vortex or whatever, along with the Romulan ship, that started the Kelvin timeline. So we're not dealing with the Kelvin timeline side of that in the Picard series. We're dealing with the Prime time. In the Prime timeline, Romulus was destroyed. In the Kelvin timeline, the Romulans made sure that Vulcan was destroyed. But that's Kelvin timeline. We're not dealing with that anymore. Kelvin timeline is dead. Though, if CBS wants to do an abomination of Star Trek, if they do a show that takes place in the Kelvin timeline, people would probably be on board with it because it takes place in a different timeline. And people are like, okay, cool, that's cool. It's a different timeline. I can give it a shot. So, this will be Prime timeline, theoretically, dealing with Romulus being destroyed. Picard has a huge connection to Romulus. The Romulus gets destroyed 20 years after TNG. So, I can deal with that. But I'm going to do my research and make sure they're not doing some other shenanigans, because I'm pretty sure they'll figure out how to make some shenanigans go along. Because also, how are we going to be the Klingons are going to show up in the Picard series. If they look anything like Disco Klingons, it's ruined. There's nothing they can do. It could be the best show in the entire world, the best Star Trek we've ever seen. If Klingons look silly, it's all for nothing. Mic drop. Boom. Oh, Beaumont resident says Chris Pratt guest starring on the Orville would be awesome. Star-Lord, that would be awesome. Chris Pratt or anything is awesome. I'm a Chris Pratter. Clinton Harden, I would have been on board with Discovery if they just said it takes place in the Kelvin timeline. Clint, I agree. I could do that. Also, I would have been okay with Discovery for the most part. The Klingon thing will never fly. If Discovery took place 20 years after TNG. If it took place in the future, they could have gotten away with everything they've done except for the Klingon thing. But they could get away with everything else, pretty much, because we don't know what 20 years after TNG is like in Starfleet. Stuff got real at some point, you know? So in tonight's episode, also, Jason Alexander will be returning as Olix. He's the one having people place their bets. We still don't know what they're betting. We'll find out. Well, I don't even think we'll ever find out what they're betting. They're probably not even going to mention that. There's just says place your bets, and we're supposed to be like, okay, yeah, okay. They're making bets. Well, they don't have money. What are they betting? L. Grantham Air, and you know, we're doing a lot of Star Trek talk, but we always talk about Star Trek towards the end of the show. You know, the first hour 15 minutes, we're doing Orville, and then it always goes to Star Trek because there's lots of Star Trek news going on as well. L. Grantham's Air says, or Q will send Picard back to the Kelvin timeline to redo some mistakes that resulted in the Federation's downfall in 2399. Possibly. I don't see why we couldn't see John Delancey return as Q. He's older as well, but that's okay. He's Q. You can say, yeah, you're older, Picard, so I decided to make myself older so you don't feel so bad. Easy. Easy peasy. Ooh, Bird of Prey. All right. Another YouTuber with which you are familiar with gave compelling evidence Discovery might already be canceled today. It was hard to argue with the logic presented. Bird of Prey, go ahead and mention that YouTuber. I don't mind. I don't mind. I think everybody should get credit. If people want to say, oh God, I got to go check that out right now and leave me, that's fine. We've been doing an hour and a half. I've taken enough of everybody's time. God, all of YouTube is watching this show right now and no one else is getting viewed. That's so unfair of me. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this whole Star Trek thing legally and artistically plays out. I'm looking forward to Season 2 of Discovery for different reasons than I thought. It would be just because I'm interested to see how this plays out. But I have been saying for a little while now, for about a month or two now, and I feel it even more so now than before, that I believe Discovery will not get renewed for a third season. That they are right now just a paperweight, just a holding spot, just a placeholder for the new Picard series. Hopefully they learned their lesson, though I'm not sure they did, CBS. But hopefully we get some great Trek. I feel bad for Discovery, the people that are making it, the people that are, you know, the characters, the actors. They're just working hard, trying to do their job that they're given to do. So I feel really bad for all those people, but I'm pretty sure Discovery is going to be canceled. Of course, we'll get Season 2 because it needs to, you know, keep people going. It's not keeping everyone going, but it's got to keep people going till the Picard series shows up, which is being fast-tracked. It will be out in 2019. So they're going to be getting rid of them. Rob Crawford says, JP, our hairy mud. Well, thank you very much. I like being a hairy mud type of character, don't you know? Oh, Ultimate. Joel Diaz says, George Takei would be an epic guest star. Oh my. I think George Takei would be the perfect guest star to have on the Orville. Takei is never ever going to do anything Star Trek ever again because they wouldn't have him, which is their loss. And Takei is amazing. He's perfect for the Orville. He probably always should have been on the Orville. If the Orville should have been around since the 60s. Takei is perfect for it. And I can't wait to see his musculature. Oh my. I love Takei. Dr. Scott Giles, I really wanted to like Discovery, but it was a drag. It really was. See, there's little bits of Discovery that's good. I mean, overall, they just did too many things that were wrong. But there's some good little bits to it, and the effects are really high quality. I really love the visuals. I love certain things about Discovery, like, and this is stuff that's not important, which is sad. When you see something being replicated in the replicator, it's so freaking cool. They did such cool stuff. They did, like, you're looking in the inside of something being replicated and it pulls out. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. And then all of a sudden a Klingon comes on and says, Chupa Chacha Bocha. And then another Klingon goes, Ocha Bochid, Ocha Bocha. And they do that for 10 minutes and they only said 2 sentences. And you got to read it on the stupid screen. Ridiculous. And then you got stupid Ash Tyler. When he speaks Klingon, he speaks like, I don't know why he puts on that attenuation onto his voice, but he sounds really dumb. It's sad. The Klingons ruined everything. There's so many things I could have looked past if the Klingons weren't so wrong. It's like somebody serving you a delicious pizza. You're like, oh God, this a whole pizza, a delicious large-sized pizza. It's got pepperoni. It's got sausage. It's got red peppers toasted just perfectly. And then right on one side of it, all the way onto the left side of the pizza, beautiful pizza, large, cut into squares, because that's the way they do it now. Right on the side, right on the edge, there's just a little dap of poop. Just a little poop. And the whole pizza's ruined. You're like, I don't want any of this pizza. I don't want the pizza that's all the way over here, because the piece of pizza all the way over here has a little bit of poop on it. So the whole pizza's ruined, even though you could just take that one little piece off and the pizza's fine. There's no poop on the rest of the pizza. No, there is. The entire mycelial network of that pizza got contaminated with poop. And you don't want it. It's wrong. That's Discovery. But the pepperoni's really delicious. Doesn't matter. It's pooperoni. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the Orville. What's up, Daniel DB631? This is an extra long episode because we're having such a good time. And you know, sometimes we have extra long live pre-shows, even though we're hardly talking about the Orville anymore, but we just have a great time, don't we? Let's see, I don't think I have any more tidbits of information about tonight's episode, so we'll just recap real quick. I call it Alara saying goodbye. She's not going to leave for another 20 minutes, but she's gone. I called it a year ago this month. I was right. I have been vindicated. So many, not of you people, you wonderful people, but so many other people are like, you are wrong, JP. You are stupid. You are slinging lies. And I didn't respond. I just said, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I don't need instant gratification on this. We'll wait and see. And you will be crawling on your hands and knees to the Orville Evangelist. Or Evangelist. Begging my forgiveness. So in tonight's episode, we say goodbye to Alara. I don't know if we're going to meet Tala. I hope we do, just a little bit. Really interested in meeting Jessica Szohr in this season. Patrick Warburton plays Tharl, rhymes with Carl. He's the elephant trunk guy, where his trunk goes into his belly. Hopefully we get a little bit of explanation of what's going on with that. Does he have poop in his trunk? I don't know. Is he able to remove it at any point? I do not know. Very interesting. He's taking over for Alara this episode. I decreed. We'll be meeting John Billingsley as Cambus, who has a beef with the Khitans. He's shooting everybody up. Exploring Fate has predicted that John Billingsley might be the Xeleyah that was never allowed to return, never allowed to leave Xeleyah again because of his sickness, of his muscle atrophy. We'll see if that's true. Alara is going to have to fight for her family's life without any type of superpowers at all. She just has to go from training. I'm guessing it'll be like, you know, oh, I got training, pew, pew, pew. I saved everybody, and her family's like, wow, you do have skills. We are sorry that we doubted you. It's going to be one of those quality feels moments. We're going to be meeting Candace King playing Solana in this episode. We do not know who she is. I'm guessing she's related to Alara. We will find out. Maybe a cousin. Xeleyahs, and I don't mean this in a perv dude way, but Xeleyahs are cute. And I mean that for the men, too. I like the whole ear thing. It's kind of like an elf vibe. You know how nerds are. We like elves and pixies and all that junk. We're also going to be meeting Carrie O'Malley playing Florata, who Alara will be having a fight with this evening. We do not know. I do not know. Some of you might know. We do not know why they're fighting. We're going to be introduced to new costumes, new uniforms that are gray. I'm guessing it's cadets. Gray uniforms on the show. We will see Jason Alexander again. We'll see some dude with 2 eyeballs, one on the top, one on the bottom, and some other aliens. People will be placing bets on Alara and Isaac arm wrestling. We do not know what they are betting. And guess what, you guys? Do you want to know the name of the next 2 episodes of the Orville? Now, I can't confirm for sure because IMDb is super messed up. But next week's episode, theoretically, is called Nothing Left on Earth Excepting Fishes. Like, you know, we don't accept fish here. So Nothing Left on Earth Excepting Fishes is supposedly next week's episode title, which is kind of a long title. I don't know how they're going to fit it on the screen. And that is the episode where Ed finds himself behind enemy lines. And Gordon wants to apply for a commander training. He wants to apply for commander training. Gordon wants to be a commander. He wants to move up through the ranks. So this will be the episode that Ed finds himself fighting for survival on that planet. We've seen it in the trailer. He's trying to create some sort of signal to send out to say, hey, Orville, I'm here. Come save me. I believe that's going to be a Krill episode. I do not know for sure, but it's got to be, right? It's got to be. It's got to be Krill. Behind enemy lines. Come on. It's got to be Krill. The episode after that, I believe, is the episode that has the scene that we saw in the season 2 trailer where Bortus and Kelly are talking about their birthdays. And that episode is called All the World is Birthday Cake. I'll repeat that. That episode, 2 weeks from now, is called All the World is Birthday Cake. And that episode is the First Contact episode where we make first contact. It's like the big deal that they've been promoting in all the season 2 trailers. We make first contact on that planet, and the Orville is going to be receiving a brand new crew member. Of course, that crew member is Tala. So if we're not meeting Tala tonight, if we're not meeting her next week, we will be meeting her the week after that in the episode All the World is Birthday Cake. And then she's permanent. We're going to find out what her deal is. She's going to be in every episode, you guys. Woo! I know too much about the Orville. Eccleston's Angel says, JP, the gray uniforms is most likely enlisted personnel. Dr. Scott Giles says, and you are right, Gordon rocks. T. Stoney says, pretentious, confusing title like the SCD writers thought it up. Yeah, those titles are a little weird. I agree. When I first came across them, I'm like, oh, this news isn't legit. That's weird titles. That is some weird STD type titles. But no, those are the titles. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. Now, of course, when we find out what those titles mean in the episode, we might think to ourselves, oh, that was amazing. That's a great idea for a title. Hey, Richie's son. Richie Poole, son is speaking to us through Richie Poole's account. Richie, he's probably going to say, is your refrigerator running? Daniel DB631 says, in case anybody missed it, this Egotastic Fun stream is rated JP for all audience. You're welcome. It's rated JP for just people. Only people are allowed to watch this. Brandon Bay, you're actually, okay, you are late, because usually this pre-show would be done by now. Usually I end it before the half-hour mark when the episode starts airing, but we're having a good time talking. Daniel DB631 says, JP, if you could join the crew of a super space adventure spoof show, would you go for it or just let it slip? I'd go for it because I want a different job. I want to do this and something else besides the other else that I do right now. So I don't care if it's a space show. I don't care if it's a cop drama. I don't care if it's you know, a light porn movie. I would sign up if they'd have me. Dax Jacobs says, I have the episode. I don't need you suckers no more. Hey, thanks, Bird of Prey. Appreciate that. JP, favorite Trek series? Oh, come on, dude. That is the easiest damn question. The Next Generation! Space. The final frontier, son, where no one has gone before. That's the little caveat there. No one has gone before. Boys and girls are allowed. TNG, my absolute favorite. You want to do the rundown? Okay. It goes Star Trek The Next Generation, Star Trek The Orville, and this is when it gets crazy. Star Trek Voyager. I'm all about them characters, yo. Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek the original series, Star Trek Enterprise, and then Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Though I love Deep Space Nine, it is not my favorite. Even though I love the characters, I like it. I like exploring. Okay, I like going out and exploring. I love Deep Space Nine, but it's not my favorite. I like going out there and running into shiz. Okay, you feel me? You know what I mean? Though, come on, I love Deep Space Nine. Odo, God, Quark, come on. It's the best stuff. Mark Walters, any news about the forthcoming animated Trek series? No, there is no news for Lower Decks as of yet that I'm aware of. But there's a new animated Trek series that I'm all on board with. I think it'll be fine. Made by the gentleman that does Rick and Morty. It's called Lower Decks. It's an animated series. It's a comedy. It's Star Trek. It's going to be on CBS All Access, so nobody's going to watch it. But it's about the least important ship in Starfleet. No, it's about the least important crew on a ship, and that ship is the least important ship in Starfleet. So this is this is a show where the characters, are the least important people on the ship, and the ship's not even important. These are the people that put the little energy pods in the replicator to make sure that the replicator, makes your Earl Grey hot correctly. That type of thing. They're very unimportant people. So it's about them. I think that's a great idea. It's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's going to be funny. So I'm all on board with that. If I like Star Trek stuff, I just want the Star Trek stuff to either not hurt Star Trek or be Star Trek. If it's anything other than that, it's not good Star Trek. Tom Graham says Deep Space Nine did not keep my interest going, even though it had good storylines and characters. I'm the same way. It had some great storylines. It had really great characters. Sisko's a great captain. He punched Q in the face, but yeah, it didn't keep my interest. Also, I was that age. I was that teenager going on into a adult. So I started doing stuff like, hey, girls are cool. Hey, let's go to a party. Hey, let's hang out. So I missed episodes, and we didn't have DVRs back then, and I wasn't gonna VHS something. Come on, too much work. T. Fuller, sorry, gotta go. OT, but are Pine and Co. doing more Abram movies? No. Pine and Company? No. Star Trek Kelvin timeline is dead. It's over. It's officially done. If they do any more with that timeline, it's got to be a different crew, different ship. Which, hey, might as well. They might maybe they'll try to bring back the Next Generation in the Kelvin timeline, which would be interesting. And it doesn't, to me, the Kelvin timeline doesn't hurt anything. So do what you want to do. It doesn't hurt anything. It's when you go to the Prime timeline and you punch everything and knock everything over that I have a problem. And actually, it's been almost 2 hours, so I need to go make a burrito. I haven't eaten since, 8 hours ago. So you guys, we had a wonderful time. I hope you enjoyed. You are going to enjoy tonight's episode of the Orville, which is over in 10 minutes. I had an amazing time tonight. This has been such an incredible pre-show. We're going to be doing it again next week. I'll be scheduling it. Of course, it's going to be the same Ego time, same Ego channel before the Orville. And tomorrow, hopefully late morning, early afternoon, I'll be releasing my, no holds barred in my car during my lunch break, first impression review of Home. And I'm gonna talk about everything I was right about, because I was right. I haven't even seen the episode. I know I'm right. I know it. Damn it, I know it. I knew it the whole time. You naysayers. Naysayers. Oh, but on IMDb, F-IMDb. IMDb is dead to me, therefore it is dead to you. So I had a wonderful time tonight, you guys. Let's see who's still here and give a proper goodbye to the participants of Talking the Orville live pre-show explosion. So goodbye, Andrew Halen. And this isn't even the full list. I don't know why it doesn't update anymore. Andrew Halen, Blade, Crystal Stover, Dr. Scott Giles, Eccleston's Angel, HM, JLP, John Leal, Johnny Jones, Joseph Bailey, Michael Burns, Michael Cannell, sorry, I'll never get it right, Michael Kluko, Mirror Universe, Zot, Paige Arnold, Patrick MCP, Richard Poole, Rod Pruitt, Arlie, Cheyenne Waringa, Slime E101, and I'm sure this isn't even updated because YouTube is horrible, because there's so many of you, more of you in the chat. Tom Graham, Beef Viper, Joel Diaz, Bradley Saunders, Tina Baby, Rob Crawford, James Dodd, Richard Bradshaw, T. Stoney, Luke Luo, Jaloja JP, Luke says, Amphagori, later JP, Dark Star 57, ciao, Bella. Anyway, we had a wonderful time. We're going to do it again next week. I'll see you tomorrow with my first impressions, and I'll see you, if not Sunday, I'll see you Monday with with my full review of Home, which should be a lot of fun because I'm just going to go off on it. And then, of course, talk about other stuff that we got to talk about. I still got this Spock episode I'm trying to put together. I just don't have time. Orville comes first, always and forever. And so the last thing I say to you will be Jaloja. I hope you all had an amazing Jaloja evening. and learned a bunch of stuff. And hopefully I'll have some more tidbits of information about Season 2 next week for you guys. And I'm going to put together all the information I can get for next week's episode. And I'm very interested in meeting Tala. So, if we're going to do this, let's do it right. Shall we? Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, and I talked about it. You talked about it too. How about you? Are you going to miss Alara? When do you think we'll meet Tala? Tonight, maybe? Do you think Alara will survive tonight's episode and possibly show up as a guest star later in the season? Or maybe even return completely in Season 3? You can let me know what you think by joining the conversation below. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, and supporting my stupid show and giving me those super chats, because you guys are super awesome, and contributing to the Egotastic Talking to Orville tip jar, which link is right down there below. You can click on that and give me all your money. And as always, I'll see you really soon, and I hope all your times are Egotastic fun times. Love you, bye-bye!
Egotastic fun time, we're gonna have a great time. Egotastic fun time, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your 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 money.